Hey everyone, it's Andrew Fazekas, the Night Sky Guy. Welcome to my webcast. It's been a few weeks. Thanks so much for tuning in. I know I've been away for a few weeks. I've had lots of kind of health issues to deal with my family, and of course, family always takes precedence. So I've just been pulled away from work generally the last few weeks, but it's great to be back. I'm so happy to see all of you guys again. And I hope you've been paying attention to some of my skywatching posts in the last couple of weeks. I have been posting and keeping an eye on this amazing planetary conjunction that we're going to be talking about today. That's the big news. I know a lot of you have been chattering about that. You might have seen things on general media across the internet about Venus and Jupiter coming together very close in the sky. We'll talk about that just now in the broadcast, and some other things as well. Let's dive in right away. First up is I wanted to mention this possibility of having a aurora. Northern Lights. Our friends at spaceweather.com says that there's a warning for a geomagnetic storm. This is something really interesting. This is something that relates to solar activity. Of course, the sun producing a lot of flares, coronal mass ejections, where basically charged particles, clouds of these charged particles, much larger than our planet, is basically thrown off the surface of the sun. And if it's carried in the right direction towards our planet, our magnetic field gets really buffeted by this cloud of charged particles, and it can produce beautiful light shows we call auroras or northern lights. And there were some already this past weekend, and there's possibility on today, Monday, the 27th of February, and the 28th of February for G3 class geomagnetic storms, they're saying. That's really strong possibilities. The first CME, or coronal mass ejection, arrived in the late hours on Sunday night, so just yesterday from this broadcast. And it says that it produced lots of different light shows across Northern Europe and North America. You can go visit spaceweather.com to see this for yourself. Beautiful visions from different parts. This is on the coast of Lake Erie in the states, many states across the skies of different states like Oregon, Minnesota, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Idaho, New Jersey, North Dakota, Colorado saw beautiful light shows. Have you seen them? Were you able to see any northern lights this past weekend? I'd love to hear from you. You could put it in the comments. I'm watching what you guys are putting in. I wasn't able to see. I had cloudy skies, but hopefully there'll be something in the store in the next few nights. I might be clouded out where I am in Montreal. It's beautiful and sunny, but we're supposed to get some mini snowstorm, 10 to 15 centimeters over the course of Tuesday. So I may be blocked out, but hopefully you have clear skies. This is something to keep in mind. And boy, you should see some of the photos coming in to spaceweather.com. People are sharing a whole bunch of photos, just amazing things. I'll just put a link for you guys down here in the comments so you guys can check it out yourself. It's really, really neat. Look at all the aurora northern lights photos being posted there at spaceweather.com. Really, really cool website. Do check it out. Without further ado, why don't we look at the skies? So if you've got clear skies over the last few weeks, you probably noticed, and I've mentioned it multiple times, that there are these two bright planets, Jupiter and Venus, that are coming together in the southwestern skies or western skies just after sunset. If you're not familiar, you may have even noticed two dots, very bright lights, two dots that are coming closer together. The brighter one is Venus, which is really easy to see this, by the way, with the naked eye. And then the one that's near it, that's not quite as bright, that is planet Jupiter. Two vastly different worlds that appear from Earth skies to be closing in on each other. We call this a planetary conjunction. Now, they're not that rare, but they are absolutely beautiful. And it's something that just draws the attention of the human eye naturally. If you're out there, maybe walking your dog or just happen to be driving home at night, and you might have noticed this, these two bright dots, and they've been getting closer and closer together over the last few weeks. Even the moon was nearby. The moon, by the way, is just higher up in the sky right now. This is, again, set for Monday, February 27th, and you can see the two bright planets close together near the horizon. They're really beautiful. By the way, I have my dog here. He's probably going to start barking very soon. Just don't mind that. His name's Maringo, and he's sitting right next to me, and I think he's going to start barking in a minute. He's hearing something outside. I might have a delivery coming in, so please just don't mind that. But yeah, these two planets are coming close together. This is the view today on Monday, February 27th, but we will get a closer view like this on the 28th of February, Tuesday, and then March 1st and March 2nd, they are going to be absolutely at their closest. It's really worth watching. This is the view that you'll get through a pair of binoculars. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And this is the view that was on March 2nd, but March 1st is when they're absolutely at their closest, and they'll be close enough to be even viewed together through a small telescope. Imagine. So if you have a small telescope, train it on these two worlds because they'll look absolutely magnificent through that same field of view. Imagine seeing the disk of Jupiter and Venus at the same time. Now, why are these planets actually close together to each other? Probably you'd think that maybe there's, but it's an optical illusion actually. So this is what you're actually going to be seeing. If we look at it from the orbital pair view, this is what it'll look like from the orbits. If we can magically kind of go out into the solar system and see it from above, this is what you would be able to see. I'm going to just magically kind of move away and see all the different orbits of the planets. There we go. So why are we seeing Jupiter and Venus close together? Are they actually close to each other? They're not. They're separated by about 600 million kilometers from each other. Imagine that. They just happen to look like they're close together because it's the kind of perspective that we have from our planet in the solar system. Remember, we're just one planet with all these others, that neighboring worlds. And from our vantage point here, you can see just down here below, there's our planet, the little blue Earth. There's Venus, and there's Jupiter. Here's the sun too. You could see this is why Venus and Jupiter are close to the sunset. This is why they're both visible so close after sunset, following the sun from our vantage point. But look, Venus and Jupiter from Earth look like they're really close together, almost practically kissing each other as it's seen with the naked eye. But in fact, you can see physically they're separated by a large distance, about 200 million kilometers. That's what this distance is. But from our vantage point, they look like they're really, really close. So this is kind of the view here. You can see sideways, and from above the plane of the solar system, you can clearly see that they are far apart from each other. So this is just, this is the perspective that we have here on Earth, but it's an optical illusion. They're not. They're actually separated by hundreds of millions of kilometers from us. And also, you may ask, how far away is each planet from the Earth? This is really interesting too. So while they look close, very bright, and you can see the disks of each planet through a telescope, there's Jupiter and Venus. Again, this is the view on Wednesday, March 1st, when they're absolutely at their closest. That's when you want to really do take advantage of that view. Hopefully you have clear skies. If you don't, Thursday is going to be great. February 28th, Tuesday is also really impressive, but they're at their closest on March 1st, really, Wednesday. And you can see both of them in a single view of a telescope. What's amazing is that Jupiter sits at about 850 million kilometers away. It's so far away. It takes about 47 minutes for the light, the reflective sunlight off the cloud tops of Jupiter to reach your eye. Meanwhile, when you look at Venus over here, the light from the sunlight reflecting off the cloud tops of Venus takes, how long? Let me see here. From Venus, it's about 11 and a half minutes it takes for the sunlight reflecting off those cloud tops to reach your eye. It's really amazing to think. And these worlds are vastly different from each other. Jupiter is basically a gas giant world. 1,200 Earths can fit inside of this planet. It's a true monster. It's called a gas giant because it's mostly made of gas. Hydrogen and helium is what makes up the atmosphere. And we see cloud bands. And through a small telescope, you can see those cloud bands really easily. Meanwhile, Venus looks like basically a waxing gibbous moon miniature version of it. And you're seeing the clouds that enshroud this planet. That's the size of Earth. Venus is sometimes called the twin or sister planet of the Earth because it's so similar in size. It has a hard surface, and it's surrounded by this thick atmosphere, made mostly, by the way, of carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide. And it's a nasty greenhouse effect that Venus is experiencing, meaning that the temperatures on the surface of this planet reach above 400 degrees Celsius. It's so hot that we've sent spacecrafts that's landed on Venus, and they've only survived for a few short hours before basically melting. So it's a real hellish environment on Venus, but it's enshrouded with these very bright reflective clouds. And that's why, to the naked eye, when you're looking at it in the sky tonight or Tuesday or Wednesday night this week, what you're going to be seeing is basically the reflective sunlight off of these two planets. And because Jupiter is so big, 1,200 Earths can fit inside of Jupiter, while Venus is so close, these planets appear very bright to us, even to the naked eye. So this is something that you'll see, they're so bright that you can even see them from under city light polluted skies. So if you have a backyard, you're living in a big city somewhere, it's okay. As long as you've got a clear view towards the western horizon after sunset, you'll be able to see this pair. Now, if you're close to the equator, this is going to be very much lower to your horizon. I'm kind of halfway between the North Pole and the equator, about the 45th degree latitude here in Montreal. So it's pretty high in my skies. If you're closer to the equator, it might be more challenging. Now, my friends at Astronomers Without Borders, they've put up a really interesting view of what it looks like from different latitudes around the world. And I highly encourage you to look at it. I've shared it on my timeline on Facebook and Twitter. So take a look. And it shows you what the two planets look like from different perspectives. That's Astronomers Without Borders. And I'll share that on my timeline again after the show so that you can take a look at that and see what it looks like from different latitudes in the southern hemisphere, along the equator, or somewhere across the northern hemisphere, depending wherever you are in the world. This will be visible. It'll just be different heights and altitude in your sky and different orientation, depending on where you are around our planet. But it's a beautiful sight. It's a great, also a wonderful opportunity to take photos. Here's what it'll look like an hour after sunset. It'll be much closer to the horizon. And if you've got mountains or trees or buildings, they can make in the foreground, they make a wonderful framing for photos. Maybe you can take that with your smartphone. Very easy to do. These planets are bright enough that they'll be visible through your smartphone cameras. So today's phones are amazing. The cameras on board our phones today are exquisitely sensitive, enough that it'll pick up stars and these bright planets very easily. And if you can frame your photo with a building or trees, statues, things like that, it'll make it a beautiful keepsake for yourself. So give it a try. Anytime tonight, Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week, this is the view. And let me just put it to what it looks like tonight, again on Monday. This is going to be the view Monday, February 27th. This is the view on 28th of February, on March 1st, March 2nd. So March 2nd is a Thursday, Friday this week, Saturday. You see the two planets are moving apart. Jupiter is setting, Venus is going higher. And this is Sunday, Monday next week. And you can see as March goes on, as the month of March progresses, the two planets just kind of move apart from each other. So really, the next few nights, this is the view that we get this week. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Wednesday being the winter night when the two planets are at their closest. This is the view through binoculars and through a telescope. You'll get to see both planets. Even the moons of Jupiter are visible through binoculars, but through a telescope, knock your eyes out. So check that out. It's really, really neat to see. So if we move back to the wide picture, beyond this conjunction, what else is there? Well, the moon is also in the evening sky. It'll be in the east at sunset. And if we just move it until let me see, get this a few hours. Let me see if I can get this working. There we go. So as the night progresses, you'll see Monday night, February 27th, that's tonight of this broadcast, after sunset, once it starts getting dark tonight, look for that beautiful quarter moon pairing up with an orange dot. That is planet Mars. It's in the constellation Taurus the Bull. This is, again, easy to see with the naked eye. You don't need a telescope to see this pairing. It'll be visible very nicely with binoculars as well. Of course, if you have those binoculars, this is what the pairing will look like. Very impressive. And of course, that red dot is planet Mars. You see the distinctive orange color of the planet shining with the naked eye visible. With binoculars, maybe with the glare of the moon, it'll really help you see that color of the red planet. It's really amazing to think, we have this planet that we're sending rovers, we're collecting rock and soil samples that we'll bring back to our planet in the coming years. It's currently sitting at 169 million kilometers, and it takes light just over 9 minutes from Mars to reach your eye. And that's visible tonight next to the moon. So as long as you can find the moon, you'll be able to see where Mars is in your sky. How cool is that? And it's all happening, again, high in the sky, after sunset, just after darkness falls. Look for that beautiful moon high in the southern sky, and next to it is that orange dot, the planet Mars. If you've never seen the planet before, here's a great opportunity using the moon as a guidepost. So check that out. And that's tonight. And if we look further down this week, the moon will progress and get closer. This is to another beautiful set of stars called the Gemini twins. And you can see here, this is the view Tuesday, February 28, Wednesday this week. Thursday this week is when the moon will be joining this pair of stars. Just a beautiful sight, right? You can see there are the two stars. This one over here is called Castor, and this one is called Pollux, the one that's closer to the moon. And look for the color differences between these two stars. Get your binoculars out and check those color differences. You should see a distinctive color difference between Castor over here and Pollux down here closer to the moon. Again, this is Thursday, March 2nd. After darkness falls, look for that waxing gibbous moon pairing up with the Gemini twins group of stars. There we go. There we can see the pairing. This is high in the southeastern skies. This is about, I would say, around 7, 8 o'clock at night. This is what the view will look like with the moon. And if we kind of move further down into the week, this is the view on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We finished the week with the moon pairing up with the bright star Regulus. That marks the heart of Leo the Lion constellation, which is rising in the east later at night. This is around, again, 8, 9 o'clock at night. You'll see this traditional springtime constellation in the northern hemisphere rising in the east, and this is where it'll be positioned, where we find the moon positioned next to the very bright star Regulus, which is about 78 light years away from Earth. Just a beautiful pairing of the moon. So mark that down on your calendar, Sunday, March 5th. Now, there's a lot of stuff happening this week. I've covered a lot. I'm going to post my sky charts of this on my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and on YouTube. So if you're wherever you're watching, you'll find these available on there. It's a lot of really cool stuff. The moon is a great guidepost. I love sharing that because if you're new to the hobby, it's an easy way to find other objects in the sky. Also, it's just a beautiful visual pairing. And if you're just a casual sky watcher, likes to go out and see a few things and understand what you're seeing, the moon is a great guidepost for understanding these other objects within our solar system and out in the Milky Way galaxy and beyond. It's a lot of fun. So all these things are happening. Don't forget the conjunction. That is the big event. That's probably the best astrophoto opportunity of the entire year, I would say, to see those two planets so close to each other. And it'll be in the western part of the sky, depending on where you are in the world. And if you wait until it gets close to the horizon, take photos with trees and buildings and statues, maybe with your friends or children silhouetted in front of the sky. It can really be beautiful. And I'd love for you to share these photos with my friends that I help out at the nonprofit Astronomers Without Borders. They have a global photo campaign they're doing that's really raising awareness of our shared heritage of the night sky. We all share the same night sky. And no matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to see this beautiful conjunction. And that's what they're trying to raise awareness, that we all share this beautiful heritage. And you can just post your photo on your Facebook or on Instagram or Twitter and use the hashtag #OnePeopleOneSky. And that'll get picked up by Astronomers Without Borders. And you can compare your photos of this very same conjunction with others around the world and see what it looks like from different parts of the world. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, thanks so much for joining. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with your friends and family in your network. Please do subscribe to my channel. It really means a lot to me, whether it's on Facebook, on YouTube or Twitter, wherever you're watching. I really appreciate it. And of course, if you're interested in any of these astronomical events and pursuing the hobby, I recommend my book, Backyard Guide to the Night Sky. It's available wherever books are sold. It's produced by National Geographic, and I put all my tips and tricks in observing experience of over 4 decades of the night sky experience into this book. Highly recommend it. It's a soft cover. You can take it with you anywhere you go. It's a great learning book. I'm selling actually personally signed editions on my website, thenightskyguide.com. I'll put a link in there for that. Let me do that right now into the comments. So if you're interested in getting a copy from me personally, shipped by me, signed by me to you, that's where you can pick that up. Or perhaps you're interested in something of a bigger book. It's a newer book that I've co-authored. It's called Stargazer's Atlas. It's again by National Geographic. It's a 6.5-pound coffee table book that gives you the entire sky visible from anywhere in the world. All 88 constellations are covered in this book, and I'm also selling signed editions of this copy, personally signed, that I'll send to you. That is where you can pick that up if you're interested. All the proceeds, of course, help me continue producing these videos for you each week. So I'm so happy to be back. Thank you for joining me. I'll be looking at your comments after the show, and I hopefully see some photos from you as well, and watch for those sky charts. That's a lot of stuff. So until next time, I wish all of you clear skies, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.